You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Bring back that beat, DJ. I don't know if it's because I done been out for 2 weeks or what the deal is, but it's hitting harder tonight. You hear me?
It is definitely hitting. Definitely hitting hard tonight.
Took me one for the night.
That beat is heavy.
Yeah, that beat is hitting. Welcome once again to the Fourcast. Man, this has been a wild, I don't know, month or weeks or what, but you know, we rocking with three of us.
Yeah, we done had because Wilkes was out a few before I was, and then I missed 2 weeks, and now A-Trap.
Yeah, so we've been a little bit all over the place.
Consistency award.
Yeah. You might forget about that one.
Never was in the running for that shit.
Yeah,
that one is out the window.
Yeah. Wrap that up.
Yeah, wrap that up. So, welcome to the Fourcast. We review movies, films, documentaries in a completely different way, 4 different perspectives. And tonight, we're coming to you with a good one. But I want to go to Doc first, man. How you doing, first of all?
I'm fantastic, man. Fantastic. Good to be back. I didn't know, when I'm out of town, like I guess that was the first week, right? I was out of town. I don't be tripping about missing them, right? Like I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Right.
But shit, after being out sick the next week, I'm like, shit, I'm ready to get back. Hey, when I start feeling good come Friday and Saturday, I'm like, shit, let's go.
Right. Yeah, that time I missed. Yeah, that time I missed a couple of weeks. I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this again. Plus watching y'all and I'm commenting and I'm like, it's a different feel when you're watching it.
Shit. I mean, that's how bad I was last Monday, nigga. I didn't care if y'all was there. Hey, I didn't care if y'all signed on, signed off. I ain't care nothing about y'all back Monday, boy.
Hey, man.
I had that COVID VD, man, and it ain't nothing nice.
COVID VD.
Ain't nothing nice. That was my second stint. The first stint, I actually had to be hospitalized because it turned into pneumonia as well. And so my oxygen level had dropped down to about an 85 or so. And so I had to be hospitalized, got on oxygen, and had to have the platelets. And until I got them platelets, that was, between that and the oxygen is what got me back right, did the whole sense of smell and taste. I lost all that stuff. This was the OG COVID,
Right.
This time I had no oxygen issue. It was just basically like a bad flu. I never had a fever. I basically just a scratchy throat turned into a sore throat and fatigue, and once I called my sister and them and told them I wasn't going to be able to do Thanksgiving, that's when I knew, okay, something wrong. Because I don't want nothing to do with Thanksgiving.
Right.
Went to the doctor Friday morning, got checked out, negative for flu, negative for RSV, positive for COVID. Shit, I slept for a week straight.
I bet, man. You don't be bothered.
That's it. Just slept, man.
And if you didn't do Thanksgiving, for real, I know you big on family, man.
And I had cooked a big pot of beans and my ham. My family do not. They gonna get mad if I don't cook my ham.
Yeah.
So and it was supposed to be at my house, so we like literally changed everything that because at first I just told my sister and I'm like, hey, y'all still do what you're gonna do, but I'm not coming out of the room. I'm gonna stay in the bed all day. Y'all still do what y'all want to do. Shoot, my family has stuff in my house, and I ain't even in town. I don't care nothing about that. Y'all do your thing.
Right.
But my mama, when she heard about it, she's like, "No, he need his rest. We gonna do it somewhere else." And moved it to one of the Queen's house, and shit. The rest is history. I literally this Thanksgiving, all I ate was a bowl of the beans I made, and about a serving of the ham I made. And that is it.
That's it.
And that was on Thursday. That's the only thing I ate. And they brought me back a piece of pecan pie and some carrot cake. That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
no dressing, no nothing.
Wow, that's wild. Well,
Yeah.
thank God you back. Thank God you feeling good.
Yeah.
We definitely good to see you.
That's
Definitely
good to hear
your voice. For real.
Yeah.
All right, Wilkes, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Feeling all right. Monday's in the bag, work wise. Ready to talk about this show. Kind of leaning on Doc tonight because.
Oh man, trust me, this one hit different for me.
Yeah,
there was a time, nigga. I was thinking about it. I was gonna clear this whole table off and bang it, and y'all wasn't gonna see nothing but the shit go dark. And because I'm talking about because the shit hit home. I mean, that's why it's very unique that this was based on a true story. Because when I say we don't have enough time for me to tell you the stories, I'm gonna tell you one or two in terms of how it really is dealing with them.
Right.
But I ain't got enough time to tell.
I
don't.
And I'm definitely looking forward to that because
absolutely.
I've even heard some VA stories that people needing to have surgeries and having to wait.
Now I was probably too young to even know grown folks business, but my grandfather was in the Army, but I'm sure he dealt with the VA and had his moments, but I wouldn't have picked it up. But so definitely leaning on Doc tonight.
I can't wait to dive into that aspect of it.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the chat real quick. Tonight,
hang on, Chief Rocker got a question. I got to get
early.
him. Looked like he was on first too. Yeah, he was on first. He did joke. It was on 4 minutes before
before the show even started. He was ready.
I just Chief Rocker. I made a pot of red beans and rice this weekend. And because I had some steak, because I had some sirloin steak slices that I needed to use that had already been seasoned.
Dropped them in the beans,
and so I just dropped them in the beans, man, and let them go. And when I say, son,
yes sir, yes sir.
I mean, I literally the only thing I ate different was Saturday. I was out and about, so I stopped at Whataburger and got me some breakfast. But other than that, from Saturday morning. Friday evening, all the way through last night. That's all I ate, man. Matter of fact, today for lunch, Friday to lunch. That's all I finished that whole crock pot, man. They were so good, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, especially
they were so good. I'm making another pot Friday.
When they sit there, they get that little gravy they make. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, look here, folks. The most underestimated gravy in the world
is bean gravy. It's bean gravy, baby.
I can sop that up. If they charge $10 a sop for that, I'm buying all I want.
$10 a sop. Put that money in the budget.
The bean gravy. Woo.
All right, appreciate you, Chief, for tuning in. Rucker Park in the building. How you doing?
All right, we got Michelle Smith.
Or Michelet, or whatever.
Yeah, for real. The way the haircut is, it's Michelet in this, and she got the sunglasses.
Got the specs
we got the one and only A-Trap. How you doing tonight?
Up,
we know you're not
good, man.
Wasn't able to be on. Hopefully you're doing well. You got everything situated. We got William Harper. I'm assuming that it's got to be
related to A-Trap because it's
cousin.
Harper.
It's Harper on there. Big Illinois in the building.
What's up, Big
like the Abbey there. We got
Hey, y'all watch out for Big Illinois. Hang on, let me give a warning. Don't put Big Illinois thing back up right quick because I need people to get a good look at this suspect. Because around the holidays, folks start breaking in cars and shit like that a little bit more. And he done been incarcerated before, so look at this face real good. Hey, hide your baloney. Put him in the truck.
He said hide the baloney. Chi-Town's finest in the building. Appreciate you for coming through. And we got Fourcast. That's probably Blue Streak Freak. She's normally the one in the chat, normally saying that.
From Facebook,
From Facebook group. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook so we can see who you are. We got DJ Knox in the building. So what's up, crew? Chat. We got Big Illinois saying LMAO. We got Rah.
Ray, man. What you talking about? Rah.
Nothing like Rah.
That's Ray, man. Hey, you can tell Ben grew up in the suburbs. Hey, this nigga Rah.
That would be Ray.
This ain't the Upper East Side. Hey,
he said it wasn't me.
Man.
We got Eric Butler in the building. What's up,
building? Co-host of Perspective on Thursdays at 8:30. Always coming with a hot topic. He said, "Clean your glasses."
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, so tonight's episode is Breaking. So it is a film that is on. It's on Amazon. Actually, I watched it on YouTube. If you didn't know, you can watch movies on YouTube now.
You had to pay, or was it free?
I had to pay.
Okay, because it was $4.99 on Amazon.
Yeah.
But you owned it, right? It's a HD. Yeah. You know, that's only, it was $4.99 no matter how you watched it, whether you rented or bought it or whatever. So I'm like, well, shit, if it's $4.99, I'm gonna buy it.
I'll just buy it, yeah.
And then I'm gonna start having people come over and charge their ass $1 a piece.
Right, exactly.
Plus
like
snacks.
Fight night.
Right.
Yeah, to watch that.
Plus snacks.
So it's called Breaking. It's starring John, Boyega. And it was originally called 892. I don't know if y'all knew that, which is we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, it was originally called 892. So when I was looking for the film,
based on a book, or the actual movie title was that at first?
The movie title was 892, and then they changed it to Breaking. But and also this is one of Michael K. Williams' last films.
Yeah, man.
He does have another one. I looked at his Wikipedia. He has another film coming out, but this is one of his last films. So this film really hit, and I think it was a lot of things that you could definitely. This could definitely happen to anybody that's been in the military or in a spot. So let's get to some initial thoughts. Here we could go to Doc first. Like we said, we're gonna be leaning on Doc tonight. He is the military vet, the only military vet on the show. So definitely leaning in.
Just so for folks who don't know, I like doing the description thing. That's probably the one thing we do that your dad and Siskel and Eva do too. We actually give you the description, but that's probably the only damn thing. But so the movie description, for those of you who don't know, desperate for money and running out of options, Marine veteran Brian Brown-Easley holds several people hostage inside a bank, spoiler alert, setting the stage for a tense confrontation with police, right? So for me, I had no expectations going in. I hadn't heard about the movie or anything like that. Literally, I mean, y'all knew what I texted y'all Friday morning or Saturday morning. You were asking or whatever and asked, hey, what are we watching? So I had no expectations or whatnot. Matter of fact, I had to stop catching up on Queen of the South to be able to even watch it. But man, I thought it was strong. It hit home once I found out that it was based on, some dealings with the VA and stuff like that, So for those of you who don't know, this was filmed in only about 3 or 4 locations. A big portion of it was in one location, which is inside of the bank. And whenever you do that, it is very difficult to pull off a good movie. Right. And I'll tell you whether they did that shit or not at the end.
Yeah. And this is almost like May Rainey's Black Bottom, which was basically in one location for the majority of the film. They did, I think, went to 2 other places, but Wilkes.
Yeah, no, I was when I was watching it, I didn't expect anything too crazy, but just from the name and the trailer, it already had me interested. Definitely, like I said, I don't know much about the dealings with the VA because I was real young and my grandfather being in the military, but I mean, even from an acting standpoint, I was kind of picking up some John Q. I was picking up
Russell Crowe, that movie he was in, right, where he was a traffic or something like that.
Yeah.
When he got
law-abiding citizen.
No, it's the other one where that lady cut him off in traffic.
Yeah, in traffic.
Yeah.
So this particular type of plot is not a new one, so to speak. And I still think there's some meat on this bone to use this kind of thing. And the reason why is because, especially now with the pandemic, right? We talked about doing some screenwriting and stuff like that, right? Yeah. How about this? Because of the pandemic, you take somebody through that life and the challenges of that, and then they break. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think there's still some meat on that bone where people kind of go left in society because of the pressures that are on us right now. You know, so so it's not new, but like I said, I think they did a fantastic job actually putting it out.
And there was even some undertone between, I can't think of the lady's name, but the banker with the braids. I don't have my iPad, but
Nicole Bahari is her real name. She played Estelle.
Yes.
Estelle something in the movie.
So the conversation between them,
last name don't matter, don't worry.
You could even pick up some, like, you know I'm black.
Right.
You know they're ready to kill me. Yeah, it's like you know how they treat us, you know. So it was definitely some banter there, kind of like, man, forgot. Like, they ready to smoke me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was, he was saying that all throughout the film.
Unhinged.
Say that again.
I was saying he was saying that throughout the whole film. They gonna shoot me, right? They gonna shoot me. I don't want them to shoot me.
Yeah,
man.
they really drove home that point.
I mean, he even said the other guy. He's like, the other guy must be white.
Yeah,
because he was saying like, how did he know?
I didn't know John Boyega. I didn't recognize him in anything. Now I thought this might have been his first role, but it turns out it is not.
He's been busy.
Yeah, he was in Woman King, Pacific Rim Uprising, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Attack the Block, Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalker. So if you can get in that Star Wars deal, you're doing something.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
almost like being in Marvel.
Right.
And then he's gonna be in this movie called They Cloned Tyrone next year, which sounds funny.
Oh my.
Keisha, thank you for tuning in. Kirby Alexander, thank you for tuning in. I know you sent out the link, A-Traps. We appreciate you, your support, even when you're not here. So for me, I was intrigued. I think I seen a trailer of it, and I was like, we got to do this one, just because it's right up our alley, and I think we could all relate to being at a breaking point. So I was like, we definitely got to do this. I didn't know how detailed they were going to get into his background, how detailed they were going to show what happened to bring him to this point. So I was definitely down from the jump, and they just got straight to it. I mean, he had a little bit of time. He was talking to his daughter while he was kind of walking alongside, and this was filmed in either Atlanta or in the in that area. But they just got. He was talking to his daughter, and then he woke up the next day, it seemed like, and he just went straight to the bank. And I was like, okay, we getting right into this.
I mean, they got right to it. They didn't hold up.
There wasn't no holding up or no backstory, really. It was just like, let's get straight to it.
Yeah, and disappointingly, when doing some research for this, that it only did $3 million in the box office. Now it came out at the end of August 26th, I believe, but it only did $3 million. I don't even know if it got released in theaters. Not that I've been following theaters, right? But it only did $3 million. So I would say this is the kind of movie I would like for us to support and pay that $4.99 on Amazon, right? So those numbers can go up, right? Yeah. So they can be like, okay, wait a minute, we hit with something here. Right. Is it the John Boyega? Is it the job he did? Is it Rosa Diaz, who did a fantastic job? Is it Nicole Bahari? Is it Michael? Whatever. So that's the kind I think we should support. In addition to that, to get more eyes on the VA situation.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Because this is based on a book that was written by They Didn't Have to Kill Him by Aaron Gale. Which is another deal. I think that was the original, book.
Original aspect of it. Okay.
Yeah, They Didn't Have to Kill Him. And ironically, I mean, think about how they named it. They didn't have to kill it.
Right.
Yeah.
Think about it based on the ending and all that other kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So this was based on a true story in 2017 on the life of Brian, not the life, but the main character was Brian Brown-Easley. And they had, if you look up his name, you will see images of him in the bank, looking up at the camera, images of him looking at the teller. I mean, so this was, I don't know. And Wilkes, I'm going to ask you this. You brought up that there was a website that was showing the parallels between what actually happened.
Yeah,
I don't know if you want to go.
What do you mean? Wait a minute. Finish that thought. The parallels between what actually happened and what
in this film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There. I forgot. I was meaning to look it up and share it with us in the chat, and I may still send it. You can kind of.
Oh yeah, because it was based on a true story too.
That's right. So it's like the lady that was at the call. Well, not the lady, but the lady at the
911.
No, the other lady at the news station. They changed her name. They changed her name for some reason.
Okay, but I didn't get her name. But that actress is actually played in like Friday Night Lights and
911.
There's this country.
Yeah,
there's some kind of the country version of what's that deal with Terrence? What's his name?
Empire.
It's the country version of Empire.
It was like Superstar, wasn't it, or something like that?
Something like that. She's in that too. Yeah, I really like her as an actress.
Yeah, she's pretty good. She's also been in 911, the TV show with Angela Bassett. She was a dispatcher.
And she flat girl, white girl, fine. Flat butt, white girl, fine.
Right. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Meryl Streep.
Get that.
Meryl Streep
flat butt, white girl, fine.
Right.
Because the way them jeans fit, she did it. When I say they should have just said "mom" on them motherfuckers. They were mom jeans.
They were all backwards.
That's what we need to do. We need to start a line of jeans called mom jeans. I bet you we'll sell the hell out them.
Man. Hot cakes, baby. Hot cakes. But I'll have to find that article and still send it. But it was talk. I kind of briefly went through it, but it was just talking about how like what actually happened versus the movie. Yeah, of course, typically you have to change things to grab an audience. It wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't dogging it.
Yeah,
it was just giving you
liberties, right?
Yeah, it was just giving you more insight to the story. Because honestly, I can honestly say I don't remember this, but it said in 2017. I don't remember this.
It wasn't a big story
either.
Yeah, I don't remember this making headlines or anything.
Yeah. Which again, think about it though, right? It's connected to the government and inefficiencies in the government and things of that nature.
That's
so
true. Yeah,
are we gonna get? I mean, think about it, right? And at the end of the day, think about how often this is coming up about who owns media companies. Right. And how much that's being talked about right now. And the reason why, certain things get the publicity that we're going to get and certain things do not, and again, it's based on who owns the media outlets, which is another reason when you get somebody like BS3 Network trying to start something and it's going to give you what really is fair and balanced, hey, those are people you need to support. You want news being reported properly, support folks who can, put some resources behind, we're going to tell you the truth. The shit going to be ugly sometime, but you ain't going to be able to do that unless you ain't got to count on nobody for money, but your audience.
Right.
If your audience can support you, we can tell you the truth, but you got to be able to pay me enough money to fly Wilkes ass to Minnesota to figure out what really happened. I can't, if I can't get there, I can't tell you the truth. We can't all go.
Yeah, you go.
Right. It's going to be some red Solo cups with some Henny in it, but you get the job done.
Hey, you want to support an HBCU? Okay, fine. You support a network like this. We're going to go there to their film and arts department and their journalism department, and we're going to pick the talent and say, hey, we got a new network. We got the money to be able to pay you to come out here and do whatever we need you to do.
Absolutely.
But a lot of folks, and again, one of the things I'm getting tired of, a lot of folks doing a lot of talking about this kind of shit, but ain't nobody doing that.
Ain't nobody doing that, yeah.
So keep talking. That's why I keep scrolling. If you just talking, I'm scrolling. Hey.
Right. No, you're right. You're just repeating the same thing.
There's some real ways to do it.
I don't want to see your Thanksgiving plate because it looks like everybody's in the United States. I don't want to see your plate.
Yeah.
The intellect, Eric says, stories and events like this never see the light of day, unfortunately. And the prime example is this was from 2017, and my first knowledge of this was with this film.
Right.
And during the entire film, he was like, well, early on, get this on CNN, get this on on all the stations.
Yeah, Fox. He was
Fox. NBC and WBS end up calling them, which I don't know which one of those it was. Maybe that was CBS. I don't know.
Probably fake. It probably may be some local affiliate or something like that. But they probably got to change the name of it.
Right. Charlotte Wilson, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you for filling in as well on the show. That
I forgot about that.
Doc was out. Thank you for your input as always. All right, so they pretty much got straight to it. I was cool with that. I don't know how y'all felt.
Yeah.
I was cool with that. I mean, let's just get right into the film. Now, my thinking was, okay, they're gonna do some flashbacks,
which they did,
to some situations what happened,
so they can kind of fill you in.
Now, I'm a little torn because this is obviously about someone's life and a situation that happened. But I would prefer to have more flashbacks as to what happened when he was in the military, which they showed him kind of looking up and they showed some stuff like that. So I don't know if y'all felt that same way. Did you want more flashbacks to see more of his backstory?
I didn't. I'm going to jump in on that piece of it. I didn't necessarily need to see more of that. I thought they showed enough. One of the ways they tied some of that in is when Michael K. Williams' character and him was starting to talk about, the military. Oh, what, you notice how he perked up whenever he found out he was in the service as well, and they started talking about where you did your service at. And then he even had, you one of them Hollywood soldiers, so that told you. So it made you fill in some blanks, but I thought they were, some okay gaps to leave, you knew they had already told you whatever it was. There was some PTSD involved because he went from 10% to 50% in his disability, and you could tell based on the way he acted that he wasn't, there were some moments of lucidity, but he wasn't all the way just, cool.
Right. He wasn't all the way there. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Just to kind of piggyback on what Doc was saying, I actually kind of like the Michael K. Williams interaction because I felt like, well, is he just making up this story to kind of get on his side, or is he honestly, is he being genuine and really trying to work with him? Trying to keep him, like, hey, I'm here with you. I'm not gonna let them, try to slander your name or whatever. Right. And they're already trying to mark you up. So I kind of like where they were going with that.
I liked his character in it. He actually took the time to FaceTime his family instead of just a phone call,
right?
Sort of thing. And you could tell they even did a good job without having to spend a lot of time on it, but showing the politics in a situation like that, right? Yeah. Like you notice how in the beginning when everything starts studying, he's like, we got Marion County here, we got these people,
we got Marietta, we got this, Atlanta,
we got every every initial, the GBA, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, all of them, So I thought that was well done, and even within his own division, you could tell. He was saying, I'm the negotiator. I'm the trained negotiator.
Right. Yeah.
Let me do what I've been trained for instead of you taking the word of somebody who's doing some shit on a hunch.
Exactly. Yeah, no, absolutely. Just like, he's like, why is he talking to the media, not talking to us? Why is he not talking to us?
And it didn't seem like my wife, we were watching it together. She was like, they don't respect him because, I mean, it seemed like he was there, but it didn't seem like he was the lead anything. It almost seemed like he was.
Unfortunately, the lead negotiators still have to report to somebody. And it's like, even though they've been trained in it, and I'm like, this is based on our training. This is what, and my experience, right? Because you could tell he was well thought of within the department.
Like he's done this before. Yeah.
Right. So he's like, okay, based on my training and my experience, we need to do X, Y, Z. But it still comes down to, is that captain going to okay it? Is that, whoever's in charge on the scene? And I got a feeling that that's what gets some folks killed, it's because you got, instead of the person who needs to be in charge, and it's like, okay, negotiator, we're going to give you 4 hours to be, because we can't let this go longer than that for whatever reason, whether it be department policy when there's hostages involved, or whether it be sometimes they're going to be even considering overtime shit. Because by 12, we going into overtime and we already spending too much money. We're going to have to send in the robots on his ass. We're going to give you, 6 hours, 8 hours, whatever, right?
It's too many of y'all niggas here. So
and in that time period, the negotiator needs to be in charge on the scene. And then after that, once your time run out, all right, we gave you 6 hours.
Right. We moving in. Yeah, we moving in. You got time for this?
Yeah. And so let me give a shout out, Big Mo. Thank you for tuning in. To wrap it up, new podcast on YouTube. Just Joe in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. So it did have a little bit of comedy in this too. I mean, in the most serious possible situation, when he answered the phone. And he was like, hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, we Yeah, she's busy right now, but let me take a message. He literally holding the phone like this and writing down a message. So for me, that was like
that showed. I thought that was a fantastic way to show his humanness. Like I'm really not trying to hurt y'all.
Right.
You know, and he kept apologizing, and he's like, I'm not trying to stop even the customers from calling to do their business. Right. He saw that she was letting people out and stuff like that. He let that take place. Right. He didn't go crazy over it, you know, and stuff like that, you know. And so I thought that was a good touch, you know.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna throughout the show at some point we're gonna reveal what actually happened. But he was in the bank with a bomb in his backpack. All right, he had a remote in his hand. He didn't have a gun, but he had a bomb in his backpack
that he had built. So you could tell they made it. He probably did something having to do with demolition in the service. Is what is based on how I gathered it, because he was very proficient at that. You know.
Yes. But yeah, I thought that was a good. It was funny, but it was also showed the human side that this dude is not an animal. And his intentions are to kill anybody. He just wants his.
I am not an animal. Rocky Dennis in this movie.
He just wants his $892.64.
Like that, like
right. That's all he wanted. Like you see the looks he was getting whenever he was telling people that he was $900 and something dollars. They like,
really?
And she was like, I got that. I'll send that.
I can give you that right now.
That's my pocket. And he's like, nah, I
don't want your money. I want their money.
Yeah. She's like, it's the same money. You like, they think they printing their own money?
Right. Yeah.
But I think you just get to that point where you like, nah, I want it from them. I know you can give it to me. It's the principle.
It's the facts of the matter. GP, Right. They're the ones that's holding me up. I want it from them. That's where I want it from.
Right, exactly. And you said Rosa, shout out to her from Orange is the New Black. If y'all remember.
That's right. That's right.
And she's got a role on the new Lopez versus Lopez too. I don't know who she's playing.
Oh, does she?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she does. She's a good actress. She does good in Orange is the New Black. Yeah. And she did very well in this. I mean, shit, the motherfucker peed on herself. Hey, right. You know.
Hey, but if you in that situation, and again, it was so.
She was like, when she was trying to escape, she like, I can't move.
I can't move. Yeah, I'm frozen. She was like, if you don't come on,
if you don't and did she say? I thought for a minute she said, "Nick, if you don't get your," I swear she said that. I'm not kidding.
Said, nah, I don't think she said nigga, but she said,
I swear she did. Did you hear that, Wilkes?
I think she said bitch, but yeah.
That's it. She said bitch. That's right. That's exactly what she said.
She was like,
and I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
She did a good job. So there was 2 hostages inside. There was more, and so the manager. So was she the branch manager?
She was the highest ranking. So there was they were both in management, but she was the high ranking manager.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then he had a flashback kind of to a vision. I think he was looking up through the light, you know, of his time in the military. And so, Doc, I'm gonna go to you on this. Have you seen this before? Number one, and is this uncommon with the VA?
Okay, in terms of dealing with the VA, so this one kind of looked at a specific piece of it, and that was the veteran affairs piece of it, having to do with his disability payment. Okay, again, he's on 50% disability at this point. Mm-hmm. And so I like the fact that Michael K. Williams' character told him, he goes, I see you went from 10% to 50%. Just that alone, just what he went through to get from 10 to 50%, right. I guarantee you was stressful for him. Okay. Yeah. So that's what they're talking about, these payments. And what happened was this guy's part of the Veterans Affairs programs. He went to Lincoln Tech to try to get some sort of training, right? Mm-hmm. As a result, the VA pays for that, or you get on some kind of program or whatever. There was a change in status that made it look like he owed some money to Lincoln Tech. They garnished his wage, his disability, mm-hmm. which was a mistake. It turns out to be it was on Lincoln Tech's part, but the VA does nothing to help you, right?
Yeah.
So to answer your question, this is not uncommon at all. There is so much red tape. The more red tape you have, okay, the more likely issues like this are going to take place. Yeah. And when there are issues, it's going to be more difficult to correct them in a timely fashion. Okay, and just like this guy showed, I'm paycheck to paycheck, or I'm month to month. I was working 2 jobs plus getting my disability to make ends meet. Yeah. I had a medical issue that stopped me from being able to work those 2 jobs, but I can make it if I get my disability. I can survive until I get back up on my feet with my disability. At least I can pay my rent. Right?
At least I can eat. You said at least I can eat.
That's right. You know. But if you take this away, you literally, I'm homeless at this point. And they did another good job. You notice how the people where he was staying, which was just a weekly motel situation, every time he was coming in and out, they was talking to him about, you gonna pay today or you gonna leave today? Right. You know, right? You More know, pressure. Yeah, that's right. You know, so they did a good job of illustrating that. Now, so yes, there are plenty of issues with the VA and Veterans Affairs in terms of your money. Right. And the mistakes that can happen because they politicize this issue when it comes to determining who's going to be the head of the VA. That is a political thing. When it comes to what we're going to do in terms of benefits for the VA and what we're going to, for instance, believe it or not, it just came about within the last 2 years that a veteran can actually go to a urgent care to get care and it's covered through the VA. That's only 2 years old.
Wow.
And not all of them.
Yeah.
Right. There's only certain ones that you can go to.
Certain one. Wow. Right?
So
like a network kind of thing.
So a lot of people, you would think that something like that has been in place, but no, you know, that's very, very new. Okay. So now so you got Veterans Affairs and then you got VA Medical Center. Okay. Right. Which is a lot of soldiers have to deal with that. So that's where you're getting into that. I got to stay in pain 6 months longer than I really should, you know? And so for me, one of the specific examples, right? So back in 2015, I had to have knee surgery, right? VA did a fantastic job. I mean, one of the best, most well-organized surgical procedures I've had to do in terms of getting entered into the system that morning, getting prepped for surgery, the recovery, one of the best. I've had it on the outside and I had it through the VA. So I was worried going through the VA, top notch. Okay. So I'll give them credit in terms of that, that's a rare story, right? You know, but it was top notch. The problem is we knew then, they said, you're going to need another knee surgery. This is just the minimum we can do to get you some relief and out of pain. It was called a lateral release surgery. But eventually you're going to need another surgery. And then at some point, maybe even a knee replacement. Okay, fine. No big deal. It alleviated the pain all the way from 2015/16 all the way to 2021, 2022 beginning. The pain is back. Okay, I know it's time for a new surgery. I feel bone on bone again. Right. That's where the rub is. Instead of me being able to go directly back to the orthopedic surgeon within the VA, I got to go back through my primary care physician. They got to send me to go get an x-ray. Then they got to go send me to go get an MRI. Wow. Then they got to make a referral to the orthopedic surgeon. Then the orthopedic surgeon sees you. So by the time all of that is done, you're guaranteed to have to be in pain another 4 to 6 months because of how long it takes you to get appointments.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
And it's already documented that you had the surgery.
And that's my thing. What's taking so I'm telling them it's already documented that I was going to have to come back. Why would I need a brand new referral? It's not a new problem. It's the same old problem.
When you told me I may need another surgery.
Right.
But but see here, now that's where it gets into some politics too. The department head of orthopedics versus the department head of primary care physicians made an agreement between them. This is how we got to do this.
Wow.
We won't accept any patients unless they have a referral to you if they have not been in constant care for the full year, 2 years, et cetera, et cetera. So because I stopped seeing my orthopedic surgeon in 2017, because there's no need to see him anymore. I'm not in pain, et cetera, et cetera. Now I'm back in pain again. Okay, we got to get a brand new referral. So to work the system, now I know to work the system, I'm just going to make an appointment every 6 months to see my orthopedic surgeon, whether the shit is hurting or not. So I won't need a new referral when it comes time again.
Yeah.
So that's the workaround. But I'm intelligent enough to figure that out.
Yeah.
A lot of veterans are not, because a lot of the veterans are 20 years older than I am, 40 years older than I am. Some of their faculties aren't.
Yeah.
You know, you follow what I'm saying?
Right.
And they don't understand this system. And they, you know, and at this point, you got workers out at the VA Medical Center that are frustrated with them because all day long we have to answer this same question
over and over and over again.
Right? So now they're jaded. And now when I come in there with all my faculties, I'm business owner. I'm King Dalton, motherfucker. I understand every fucking thing you're saying. You can't talk to me no kind of way.
Right.
And I have to remind them that everybody that comes through these doors, ma'am, are not dummies.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, so you have to remind them of that to get them back mentally, like, okay, you need to quit assuming that everybody who walks through these doors is going to be a certain way. So when you get somebody at the VA Medical Center or Veterans Affairs who actually treat you a good way from Jump Street, that stands out to you. Like I had a nurse today in radiology who actually, from the moment we talked, she treated me with respect from Jump Street. And I told her, you're a rarity in the VA.
Yeah.
And you know why she is? Because she's a veteran herself.
Yeah.
She knows how we typically get treated.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So we see movies like this, we see movies like that also end up creating militias, or maybe in real life, or maybe the movie created, they want revenge against their government that they served, or they turn to crime or something like that. But my question is, I've never seen a police movie like this. Why is it that the military always turns out these kind of movies? Like, is it because I never see, unless I'm wrong, I never see a police movie that, well, they let me go on the force, so now I'm gonna get my revenge, or I'm gonna flip. Or they owe me.
Yeah, I've heard of instances like that, but I hadn't seen a movie, and I don't think it's as rampant. Because again, think about it. There's not some saying in the military that calls it the blue wall, right, or the green wall. We don't have one of those, right? But the police do. So basically, they are protecting theirs. Think about it. This is the same. You're asking a question about a department who can kill somebody and go out on paid leave.
Right.
You follow
and
them?
Come back.
So basically, the way their union is set up, they're not going to allow them to mistreat them as much. You follow me? Now, sure, there's some shortcomings in the police departments and stuff in terms of pay and staffing and all that other kind of stuff. But the way it's set up, you're not going to allow them. They're not going to be mistreated very often in terms of benefits and stuff like that.
Well, that makes sense, because then you see those movies where it's like, well, John was on the force for 20 years. We're gonna take care of your family. We knew your kids, and we're gonna make sure, things like that. So I guess you're absolutely right. So I was just wondering, I see all these, like I was watching another one that was on Amazon Prime with Chris Pratt. He had went to the military, in typical storyline, went on this mission, killed most of his team. He survived, but then come to find out, somebody sent him there to wipe out his team because they knew too much. And then
that's called the terminal list.
Right.
Very good.
You had like Kiefer Sutherland was in there, and they had made like their own kill squad and stuff like that, and trying to. I was just wondering why we see so many military movies like this.
And see, I'm gonna tell you one final story. Right? There's this guy.
Real quick, shout out Candace Brooks. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, ma'am. There's this guy who joined the military when he was 17 years old. He was actually still a senior in high school. This was around the time just before Desert Shield and Desert Storm kicked off. So Desert Shield was the training for Desert Storm, and then Desert Storm was the actual, I don't know if we're calling it a war or not, but conflict, right? Yeah. And so at 17, he went through basic, went through AIT, went through Desert Shield to be prepared for Desert Storm, then got called active for Desert Storm. Went to Desert Storm at 18 years old, turned 19 during Desert Storm, came home, was released. When he was in a medical unit where he was actually seeing people who was burned from head to toe. He was dealing with patients because he was in a medical unit. He was dealing with patients in Germany, patients who had stepped on toe poppers, which are basically landmines. That's what they call them, toe poppers. So they had shrapnel blowing up into their nostrils to where one of their nostrils was the size of a fist. Wow. Now, mind you, this is a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
So when he went in, they didn't give him any training to determine this is what you're going to be seeing. This is how you deal with it. And they didn't give him any training on the way out at 19 years old to say, hey, do you need to talk about anything? We know this was wartime. We know there was some, do you need to talk to anybody? Do you need to process anything like that? Nope. Just did paperwork, told him this is how much money you're going to get paid, and send him on the way. At 19 years old.
Right.
Do you think that dude is going to have some PTSD?
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
Definitely.
Fortunately, that guy had a praying mama and a praying grandmama. Right? Yeah. And that guy happens to be King Doc, and he a bad motherfucker, so he can handle it.
Yeah.
But think about how many people who couldn't. But that is literally my story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? And I went till I was 40, 45 years old thinking nothing of it.
Yeah.
Because number one, in our community, when it comes to mental health and stuff like that, you ain't tripping about none of that kind of stuff. Yeah. Shit, we deal with stuff all the time. You just deal with it.
Yeah. We talked about it last week.
I don't need to talk to nobody about what.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some crazy motherfuckers over there. Yeah, I saw some injured patients who, it was hard looking at them because you knew their life was changed forever.
Right.
You follow me? Yeah. And so the VA, the military, does very little to kind of prepare you for that situation or show you the proper amount of respect and appreciation afterwards, right?
After you get out. And I think that's the difference, tell me if I'm wrong, Doc, but I think that's the difference between the military and the police force. When you get off the police force,
we got you.
You're good. You're good. You are respected. People know you probably in the community or wherever you worked. When you get home from the military, I know I'm not making a generalization, but I'm sure there's some times when you get back, it's like, hey, thank you.
Yeah.
But you gotta deal with it on your own. And there was another movie with Tobey Maguire. I forgot what the name of the film was, where I think they thought he was dead, and then he came back. I think Jake Gyllenhaal was in this, maybe.
I didn't watch it.
He was alive.
Yeah.
And his best friend, I think, like married his.
He went crazy.
His
wife.
I remember.
But he was gone. You got to think of all the stuff that you deal with and go through. So I think that's maybe the difference is the respect level sometimes that's shown, when you get back.
No doubt about it. And like I said, for a veteran who has risked his life in a foreign country during wartime, and they can't go, it's like, motherfucker, if you got a headache, you ought to be able to walk into any medical facility in the entire country and say, motherfucker, I need some aspirin. And they'll be like, shit, yeah, what you need? Oh, you a veteran? Oh, yeah, here, come on.
That's why I don't understand. I can't understand.
It shouldn't even be a question.
Shouldn't be a question. Yeah, it shouldn't even be a question. Yeah. That's why I don't understand. Like, you literally sacrificing yourself, may not come back. You might become a POW. It's like, I don't understand. Like,
now, there's support at restaurants, there's support at stores and stuff like that. And I don't know. I mean, Doc, how do you feel about that part of it? Do you feel like that gives you some type of appreciation?
When you're talking about like the discounts that you
make, discounts and stuff like that,
it's very few, believe it or not. At the end of the day, I would say probably only 20-25% of retailers actually give you any sort of discount. Right. There's one day of the year, which is Veterans Day, where they make a big deal about it, right? And make themselves feel good about the fact, well, we did some shit for it,
Right.
Now I have to get into the habit of actually asking everywhere I go to make sure that there's not, of the retailers that are out there that you see on a daily basis. Lowe's is probably the one that is as serious about it as anybody.
They definitely,
they even sectioned off a part of the parking lot to say veterans parking, or whatever. But a lot of retailers aren't, and when you ask them about it, they actually looked embarrassed. Some of their workers be looking embarrassed when they have to tell you no.
Yeah.
You know, they're like,
oh yeah, absolutely. Because
we don't
we'll know. Yeah.
Oh man, I get it. Yeah, I get it at work.
We get it. We get it all the time.
Like,
yeah.
I can't believe we don't. But then it goes back to what I said. It's like, why do we treat our military personnel like custodians? I don't. understand.
No kidding.
It's kind of like, here's some keys. Thanks, appreciate it.
But you want to treat them well, because if shit go down,
right.
Then if you want to say, hey, y'all mind giving us a hand over here?
Right. Y'all mind?
Like, oh yeah, we got y'all.
Yeah. Right. Y'all mind leaving your job?
You don't want to be thinking about no, motherfuckers. Just yesterday.
Right.
My check wasn't right. Just yesterday, I couldn't even get
the royal treatment. All around, it should not be a question, man.
Yeah,
not be a question.
We do stuff backwards,
right?
As far as the country sometimes. All right, so let's get back to the film. Before I do that, I wanted to get into go to a quick commercial break and shout out to Trey Natural. So I put together a little. She said, "Hey, can you play this promo?" So we can go and get into that. She's been supporting the show. She has her own small business. So let's get into that, and then we'll get right back into the show.
Bored again. Look at them bangs just banging. It's so much. Trey Naturals on the rise. We always got to say that. It was so much wind out here. I don't even care. And I took so many pictures. I don't even care. I still had a good day on a sad day. But guess what? Guess what? It don't cost not a thing to like, share, or subscribe. It don't. You follow me, I follow you back. And guess what? Guess what? You can even support me. It won't nobody think any less of you. I swear they won't. I got a plethora of items, products that are handmade by me with love that you can purchase continuously. And guess what? No one will be mad at you. No one will be. No one will stop talking to you. They won't stop being your friend. They may even like you for supporting a Black-owned business. How about that? Talk to you later.
A little reminder, it costs $0 to refer a small business to your friends. Please share.
I'm gonna try some of her beard products. I'm out of some oil and
I've been using Bevel's products right now, but I'm gonna check out her products.
Well, yeah, man, she been supporting the show. So I reached out to her last week, I think. She's like, hey, can you play this one or this one? So definitely want to do that tonight.
Yeah, I need to get the website.
Yeah, I'm gonna get put it in our messenger chat.
Order me some products.
I'm gonna give us.
Yeah, we'll do. All right, so let's get back into this. Then at the top of the hour, you ready now?
We got a couple of people. Before we get into that aspect, we got a couple of people who are in Facebook jail.
A couple.
The educator queen being one of them.
No!
So I want to read the comments that they can't make because they in Facebook jail.
Oh no!
Hey, go on YouTube.
YouTube, that's right.
YouTube is set for free.
But she said this is her comment that she would have put on here. Let me get off of here. I almost started crying listening to you talk, but I didn't cry because a bitch in Facebook jail and can't comment. And then she goes, no, but for real, nice way to tie this all together, with military experience in the field. Just wanted to give her credit for the comment.
Appreciate you, Mika. Appreciate you. Hopefully you get out soon.
All right, Beyonce.
But what's ironic about it is she got in jail.
What did she do? Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Because she said, I'm going to whoop you to me on some of the stupid comments I made.
Come on.
Really?
And Facebook, chill out.
Wait, whooping happen every day. Whoopings happen all the time. School parking lots, in the car,
But I told her, I said, I'm a protected creator. So that's why they gonna let you just talk to me any kind of way. They gotta
don't come at me any kind of way.
Exactly.
I'll beat your back.
They protect me more than the VA do. Hey, you can't just talk to me any kind of way.
All right, Caesar.
All right, so kind of what happened to him in the military? Obviously, because he said he was injured. Now, was that mentally or was that
did Desert
physically?
Storm as well, because they did talk about the campaign that he was in. So he was in Desert Storm. He was a Desert Storm veteran, which makes sense based on his age, right? You know, so some of the Vietnam vets and stuff, like, again, one of the reasons why I don't do a lot in terms of trying to complain about what we get, how we get done, because it's 10 times, 100 times better than what happened to some of our Vietnam vets, you know, and the way they were treated. That I mean, shit, you think my story would have made you cry? Shit, that ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. You know, you hear some of those stories, you're gonna tell me, nigga, man up.
Yeah. And that was kind of, is that what kind of what was the one, Oliver Stone? Is that what his movie Born on the 4th of July? Is that kind of?
Yeah, I believe that was a Vietnam based
kind of based on that.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, right?
Tom Cruise,
yeah.
So, and back to the comment you made a little bit earlier, saying dummy, when Estelle was coming up to him like, hey, you know,
I ain't no dummy.
Yeah. She was trying to coerce him, kind of talk him into something. He was like, I ain't stupid.
Herself and stuff.
Right. It was like, just because we similar, I ain't stupid. So
like
he definitely wasn't. Yeah, he definitely
he
wasn't.
Insinuated that that's how people treat him. You know, all the time. Is that because I'm a veteran? Because I'm, you know, getting PTSD disability. I'm not no dummy.
Right.
You know,
you trying to
play me. You know,
trying to size me. Yeah, you trying to talk me down.
Size me up. Right.
Yeah.
And she had, you know, Rosie. She was scared. Estelle was a little firecracker from the
every now and then she got with it. But
then when she realized, like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to just leave here, then she got a little emotional. But she was pretty hot early.
Yeah. Speaking of, let's go on and do my segment. Go ahead and
let's go ahead and do that real quick.
All right.
The one and only Beauty of the Week. Even that beat hitting harder.
Yeah, I like the way he tried to buy some time before he was trying to find a video to play wheelchair. Talking about one and only. No, he don't say that. Hold
on, I'm like that pastor. I need to move some stuff around. So
right. So again, this brings us up to our Beauty of the Week segment. Because this really hit home to me, I started not to do a Beauty of the Week. But I'm like, nah, I'm going to do one so I can show somebody some love. I'll start with our runner-up, which is Selena Leva, which is the chick from Orange is the New Black. In Orange is the New Black, I thought she was very cute. You know, I think she basically plays a Puerto Rican, if I'm not mistaken. It's probably what she plays in the Orange is the New Black.
So,
you know, maybe Cuban, but I think it's Puerto Rican based on the situation. However, our Beauty of the Week for this week is none other than Mrs. Nicole Bahari out of West Palm Beach, Florida. She's played in such movies as 42, which is the Jackie Robinson story, Scenes from a Marriage, has won NAACP Image Awards for such shows as Sleepy Hollow. So she is well respected in the industry. You don't see her in a lot. I recognized her when I saw her. And of course, you know, they had to make sure she looked like she was just at work that day. They didn't have her looking good at all. Had some tired braids. They even they probably told her to put them braids in about 4 weeks before they start filming so you could have them little naps up there because the shit was not looking good. However, I didn't pull any of those images. I only pulled images from Google that shined a light on her beauty. And just like all of our Beauty of the Week candidates, she is beautiful inside and out. Nicole Bahari.
Chief said, man, I couldn't see nothing on that picture. He talking about on the video. Yeah, it was that was on purpose. All right.
Oh yeah, he trying to see the lingerie and shit like that.
Trying to see the side boob and everything. Nah, man, we're not trying to. Yeah, Nicole Bahari.
Yeah.
She's fine with a bunch of ease.
And in my research, found out you might want to do some little look at digging out of this Wilkes. But I think in 2017 she posed nude in Allure magazine.
Oh,
so she about it.
She definitely, she with it. They gave her a little shot. They gave her a little side profile in the dojo. Yeah. She got a little bumpy bump. Bumpy bump. A little bumpy bump.
Yeah. Hey, why? So I get it that she was the lead manager, but if the girl didn't want to leave,
they did a solid having her character stay. That she just because I don't think that would happen in real life the majority of the time.
Yeah,
but she showed that no, I can't leave my folks behind.
I don't know why it was throwing me off, but I thought at moments it was Keke Palmer, but I'm like, no, that can't be right because I guess it was just at some points, but
at some point,
I was just like, what's happening?
Yeah, no, but you could tell that's why, see, this is another thing they did a really good job at is making sure you knew these folks was black.
Yeah.
You understand? They didn't try to dumb them down. You notice how the dude got black a couple of times?
Yeah.
Where he was like saying some stuff that you like, okay, that's some shit black folks would say.
Right.
You know how when we've talked in previous episodes about how we have our own language to where other cultures would miss the nuances of the communication.
Right.
But for us, we didn't miss the nuances of the communication. Right. And the one of them being when she was at the door and said, "Bitch, if you don't, that's a nuance." Black folks, get your ain't no other race gonna say that to no motherfucker.
Yeah.
Come on, Jesus.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Come on, rah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, even that one part where she was like, telling us, like, "Oh, well, I understand, my brother." It was just,
I think she was trying to test his gangster a little bit.
Yeah,
she was real.
Even the way him and Michael K. Williams were communicating with each other. Yeah. They did it in a way, that we mess with each other and we like, Hollywood ass.
I appreciate the Hollywood.
It really looked like it was us, man.
Yeah. So we mentioned this a little bit earlier, but he was owed $892. That was going to be the original name of the film. And he just hit the point. I mean, how many of us, for real, hit a breaking point, but we were able to switch it off?
Yeah, If you done seen a Joker go off about $5, $3, or $7, nigga, you owe me $7. Hey, I'm finna, you got to whoop his ass. You figure
shortchange me,
and you
figure out $20.
What happened, y'all? They done ruined Thanksgiving over $12.
They done dumped over the whole.
But it's because they done got to that breaking point to where all the things of life done piled onto this. And now, and you know what happens is there are certain people like that. See, I'm the kind of dude to where if somebody wrong me, I'm going to address it and it's done. Yeah, and I'm really over it. I'm going to forgive you. I ain't tripping. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. But I've addressed it up front. Like, hey, don't come at me like that, man. But we cool. Yeah. I ain't tripping, but no, don't come at me like that. It's over. But you got certain people that's going to take it and they're going to take it. And they're going to flush it and they're going to stay quiet about it and stay quiet about it. My business partner like that. He going to take, so I can't tell you how often I'm like, man, go check his ass. Nah, I'm good. And the next thing I know, he done fired the motherfucker at Home Depot parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Because he done had enough of it.
Yeah, you had something good. No, I'm cool. It's the quiet ones, man.
But that's how some people are. So some people are more prone to this. It's like, I done took it. It's almost how Wilkes describes our culture and our people, and it's like we've been taking this shit for 400 years. Right. You gonna all right. Yeah. That's another thing.
All right now.
All right. All right. When black person says all right, you better chill out.
Yeah. And the thing that always set us off is when they say, I'm gonna give you your funky $20. When they say funky in there,
it wasn't
it's over there.
You had to buy it.
Tables.
Like, how you upset? It's my money.
Yeah, and
it wasn't funky when you asked for it.
I posted on social media a few weeks ago. I said, if I say no worries, worry. Right. If I say no worries, worry, motherfuckers.
Nah, we cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so he came in the bank with the backpack. Let's get into some of the thick of it. Did you guys think he had a bomb?
I don't know. I mean,
I wasn't certain.
Because
where would he get the resources to build a bomb?
My gosh! Wait a minute, hold on now.
He had no money.
I'm saying let
me go get a pound of fertilizer and a few pipes.
Yeah, we got 20 minutes left in this show. I could probably have one put together before it's done.
Hold on, I got to hold on.
He was low. He was low on money.
That ain't difficult. I mean, haven't you heard news stories and stuff about how kids can figure out how to make a bomb on the internet? I mean, it's like it don't take much, man. Now, and again, remember, that was probably so he went to Lincoln Tech, and it was probably something in his MOS in the military, right? Yeah. So he probably to be able to know how to rig it up to a cell phone to where that's where the trigger was and the beeping and all that other kind of stuff. You know, man, there's some people that are mechanically inclined. They can do that stuff in a heartbeat, man.
Yeah, well, no problem. No problem.
I think for me, when he kept dropping the backpack, I don't know, my spidey sense went off like.
He's only used to 1978 bomb making. He don't understand that you can drop a bomb and it's not go off.
He's only used to the bomb with the dynamite in the closet. That's
the only bomb making he's used to is the Warner Brothers Saturday morning cartoon bomb making shit.
But it's the way they did it. The way they did it. Yeah, the way they did it for me made it seem like, all right, you ain't got no bomb in that bag.
That's how bombs work, man.
Bomb.
But you know what? Honestly, I have to say there was so much interaction between him and the people in the bank. There were times I forgot that he even had.
I know.
He wasn't holding their ass hostage. They were just hostage.
Exactly.
It was just there. If that just happened to be here when I came in.
Yeah, they went to the restroom for 20 minutes. Y'all stayed in there.
Yeah, he on the phone. Go see if she okay. Go check
sitting on the floor. You know?
Right. Reading the Bible.
Praying. Yeah.
Psalms 52. Like, I'm going to read this whole chapter.
Where I didn't even focus on supposedly the bomb. I mean, because it was just so much going on and interactions and talking little flashbacks that they had. There were moments where,
but I think they did a good job of saying it's the threat of, right?
Yeah,
like even when he was in the restroom and she was trying to get her to go out the door, she's like, no, because if he come out right when we there, I don't want no shrapnel in my back and shit as I'm running out this door. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 13 comments, man. You know? Oh, they just saying
that's all. That's Joe saying what's up.
Okay.
But and so when he was saying he wanted the story out there, I don't think I think he wanted people to see this is what's happening to me, which means it's probably happening to other people.
No doubt. He wanted to
that was his end game, if you will.
Yeah, because you notice they did some scenes where they showed him looking at, like she says at the end, you could tell it was getting to her when they did one of the flashbacks when he first found out, when he was first going to him about his money. And she was like, I can't do anything about it. Yeah, he's like, you're about to make me homeless. Right. And she paused for about 30 seconds thinking about it. And then just went and got that brochure and said, well, this is a program we have, right. So you can either call them or you can get in that line right there. And then you looked up at that line and there's 40 folks in that line plus 20 folks sitting down in chairs.
Right.
And it's like, and then what's going to happen at the end of that line? They probably ain't going to do shit for me anyway, or put me in a bunk, at the end of the night, I don't want to be in, whatever. Right. So I thought they did a fantastic job of illustrating that.
What was the budget on this movie? Because the fact that unless that Wells Fargo was fake, but the fact that you have an actual bank in the movie,
think about how many abandoned bank locations.
Yeah, it could have just been an old bank.
You follow what I'm saying? You know, and maybe because it's Wells Fargo might have paid them a little bit to be the bank.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, you could tell the building wasn't that new. It was an older bank.
Yeah,
so
it was definitely old.
And even the design of it. You ain't designing a bank with that circular pattern like that anymore. They ain't doing that.
It looked like a 90s. It looked like a 90s bank.
That's right. Yeah. So it's probably abandoned anyway. So it probably didn't cost.
Oh, we got a movie set bank in the back. Yeah, y'all can use that one.
Yeah, it probably, and then for them, the owners of that building to make any money on the building, they were probably happy to do that.
Yeah. And so it says the film debuted. No, that's not it. I was looking for the budget, but I know the box office was $3 million, but it was actually in 902 theaters, so it wasn't some.
Oh wow!
Wow, and only made $3 million. Well,
it said it debuted. The film debuted at 985.
That don't mean everybody went and saw it either. But
post-pandemic, that's not a horrible number, 902. But pre-pandemic, 902 theaters ain't shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, a few of those probably was Redbird and
Hollywood. If they're talking about actual theaters and not, they probably are talking about actual buildings, not just.
Yeah. So they're getting down towards the end, obviously, how is this going to work out? Obviously, he died. So it's just a matter of how and what it was going to look like. And they were talking about, okay, you got to release a hostage. I'm going to go get you some cigarettes. I'm like, this ain't going to work out well. No. He ain't going to be able to smoke any of them cigarettes.
Yeah. Because even when
and it was like the minute that Michael K. Williams left, is like when everything started popping. And by the time he got back, it was over.
Who which I didn't, maybe I missed it, but did somebody give the green light? I mean, he kind of tracked the window and just took the shot. I mean,
I didn't hear anybody say take the shot. It seemed like they were tracking him though the whole movie. Because they kept looking through they had to move. Because I think there was some type, the SWAT came up, so they had to move, but it seemed like they were ready. The sniper was ready the entire movie. It seemed like, at least when they got there.
Yeah, because you had the sniper.
And at first, I thought, again, spoiler alert, I thought he was gonna make it out alive because you notice how that's when that SWAT guy looked down at his phone and saw that that's when they showed him in his Marine dress uniform.
Yep.
And so
that got him a little bit.
It looked like the SWAT guy kind of was like, "Fuck, man, this is a veteran, man."
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take this shot.
Yeah.
Nah, the minute he looked away, I knew it was like, it is what it is, though.
I got a job to do, man.
Yeah. Right. Once he looked away, I think he was like, it's messed up, but
yeah, right.
I got to do it. Dion Williams, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate the support over on YouTube.
Okay, so their budget, and this is not bad at the end of the day, I suppose, right? So this is an independent film, technically, right? Which you don't see any. It was put out by distributed by Bleecker Street. So that it's not no big Paramount or Warner Brothers or Searchlight or anybody like that. So the budget was $2 million, and they've done $3 million already at box office. So it's $1 million profit, which that's not a blockbuster. But from an independent film, if we could put together $2 million to make a movie, are we okay with splitting $1 million between the three of us on the project we do?
Right.
Shit, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, and speaking of Bleecker Street, they did Beasts of No Nation. I don't know if y'all seen that. It was Idris Elba.
I have not finished that.
I think I have seen that movie.
They also The Lost City of Z.
Haven't seen that one.
Let's see.
It's in one of my watch lists though, because it looked interesting to me, but I just never did.
Yeah, they've done actually quite a few. Brian Banks, that was one about the football player that was wrongly accused. He ended up going to jail, and then he went out and played for the Falcons.
This first week with these lights I was telling y'all about, man, I'm gonna have to start turning the AC on in this motherfucker. These lights cooking a nigga in here today. Oh man, I'm gonna have to make an adjustment before the show tomorrow.
Oh man.
So we kind of been talking about this. Brian, he goes to the bathroom. I think at that moment he knew, like, all right, whatever, I need to probably talk to my daughter one more time because it's about to end.
Yeah,
and he didn't think he was getting the cigarettes either.
Oh yeah, he like he said, he didn't want to get shot, but he knew only one way out of it.
And I love the fact that she kept saying to him, she made it very, very believable. I need you not to die today. Right. You know, like they were like, it's too many brothers been getting killed. Please don't die.
Right.
And this, do whatever you can. I need you not to die. You know.
Right. Yeah.
And he was like, come on, you know the chances of that is like slim and none. You know.
Right. And he was reading the Bible to his daughter. That part I got a little choked up there. I mean, I could see. I read the Bible to my daughter. And you think of this your last moment, and she praying for you. I mean, like that. That part hit me a little bit there, but I think he knew. I mean, now one thing we hadn't touched on at all was the relationship with his wife or ex-wife. I couldn't really tell if they were married or divorced or what.
At the very least, separated.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and again, I think that's one of the PTSD tie-ins is that because he's not all the way.
Yeah.
There was probably some conflict there as a result, you know. Yeah. And you know, but she knew at his core, this is a good man.
Yeah.
Right. He's a good dad. Yeah. You know, so she's tried to, because you could see that some of the visitation flashbacks that they did, you could tell it was in his daughter's room at her house, you know.
Right.
So, you know, they had a decent relationship, but you know, like remember when he said, you know, when she was like the phone was ringing or whatever, and he was like, well, when your ex calls, answer his call.
Yeah.
He goes, you don't know how much it hurts when you don't answer the call, you know.
Right.
Right. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And she and you could tell when she answered the phone, she was like, all right, what you on today? You know, what you about to say today?
Right.
And he was like, look, I'm at the bank and I'm sticking the bank up. She was like,
man, get out of here.
Right. I just asked what you own, man.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So at the end of the movie.
But, and are you talking about acting job? She didn't have a big role.
Yeah.
She did a fantastic job. And when she was chasing the FBI guy out there when they just left at the end of it.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can
what did they say?
Think about what they said. Think about this. The way they shot that through the window,
right?
Yeah,
in the house, and they let you see, but you could barely hear her talking to him, and she was like grabbing him, begging him, "Tell me what's happening. Why y'all leaving?"
Yeah,
you know, and the other agent had to come out and say, "Ma'am, you know, whatever." That was a fantastic scene.
Yeah, that was good.
And he said something to her, but I couldn't.
He said, well, I don't know what he said there, but then they said you'll have to call the police department.
Oh, okay, that's what he was saying.
He was saying
basically
somebody. Just telling her to calm down or let him go or whatever, you know. He wasn't saying nothing of real substance.
Right.
So you could kind of tell that the film was coming to a head. And he's like, all right, I don't really pray. Yeah.
Coming to a head.
Exactly. I just want to say I was really upset about the lady that's playing the wife because I was hoping to see some cheeks, but she would not take them. She wouldn't take the moo off.
You good? Trust me. You good? You good?
Yeah, they weren't showing all that.
Did you notice how when she found out the FBI coming, now you finna comb your damn hair?
Right. And
put on makeup and lipstick.
You're not gonna be able to clean up that whole house.
Right.
You better quit.
Be like, oh shit, we finna be on the news.
Right, you put a little makeup on.
Eric, late you said funky $20.
Yeah, he must be behind. He must have the power.
Once somebody say funky,
that's it.
Yeah,
there's gonna be some furniture moving around.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah. So you know, coming to the head of the movie, and he's standing there, and he was like, I don't know. It sounded like he said, you know, I don't really pray that much, and that was it.
That was a wrap.
They took the shot. I didn't hear anybody say,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Take the shot. It was just, I guess they maybe they were told early on, like, hey, if you got the shot, just take it.
Even the chief didn't know the shot. The new police chief was on the scene. In the, you know, because y'all picked that up, right? That he was a new police chief.
Yeah.
He spent most of the day in front of the cameras.
Right.
And so as soon as he found out they got shot, he got in this shit.
Yeah, he
left,
better.
you know,
because everybody dropped to the ground. Like they was like, "Oh, what is that?" They didn't even know what it was. Yeah,
they didn't know if it was coming from him. They didn't know where the shot was coming from.
Right.
Yeah. And then Michael K. Williams with the cigarettes in his hand. Never even did the swap, never even got to the door.
The imagery with him holding the pack of cigarettes,
all that up against the tree.
Yeah. I mean, man, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Especially where he's like, man, I'm not gonna let them forget you like this. You know, I'm gonna get you out of here. I'm gonna get you just like, and then of course when the guy walked, which that goofy dude, Jeff Donovan or whatever, he always looks like that. Like he just don't care. No movie. Just
And you know what? Based on the fact that this is an independent film, man, it makes me want to go to a film festival one day, like maybe to the Sundance or maybe one that's specifically geared to us. You know, 1 year and just spend the whole week or whatever, because you know they'll play a movie or two a week or day or something like that, and get to see a city. I may want to try to do that. That may be at a bucket list item, man, to go to a independent film festival, man.
Yeah, that would definitely be worth
that'd be pretty nice. I don't know if they hold them here because I know Dallas has 2 independent films.
Nah, hell no, I don't want to do it in Dallas, man. I want to do it out of the state or out of the country.
Well, I don't know if they come here or not.
Like all I know about is the Cannes Film Festival and the Sundance.
Cannes and Sundance are the biggest.
But I bet you there are some that are geared toward us though, like black filmmakers.
Absolutely.
You know, but I don't want to go to Atlanta to see that shit. See the assumption I made? Shit was gonna be in Atlanta.
So they're coming in at the end. He's holding the cigarettes, and he's like, wasn't no bomb. And I was like, wow,
not surprising.
Yeah, not. I didn't think it was just because I don't know. Just the way they were doing it.
By it at all.
I wasn't surprised. Yeah. Like I said, the only way you're getting out of here is laying down, bro.
And it matched with him, right? You know, he had said the whole time, "I don't want to hurt nobody.
I don't want to hurt nobody. I'm sorry.
And I was apologizing. Yeah,
I just want my money.
So now he didn't. He didn't want to. You could tell he didn't want to. So he probably said that he probably had the ability to make a bomb, but he knew I don't want to make one just in case y'all piss me off that day and I really set one off, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Shout out Lloyd Phillips. He says, set it up. I don't know if he set it up.
Maybe he meant set it off. Shit, I don't know.
But Breaking. Starring John Boyega, one of the final films.
Watch it.
Yes, Michael K. Williams, rest in peace to him. And John Boyega did a great job, man.
Michael K. Williams, man.
This guy.
If you let me give you another Michael K. Williams suggestion. If you have not seen Boardwalk Empire,
great.
Michael K. Williams has a role in that is phenomenal. In fact, who else? What is that white cat's name? The same one that played in Con Air. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna look this up because this is
the main character.
Buscemi.
Yep, Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi,
and that's one of my favorite actors
he's
all
good
time, man.
Yeah.
But if I tell you nothing but the fact that Michael K. Williams and Steve Buscemi got heavy roles in there. Boardwalk Empire. I think it was an HBO joint, maybe Showtime, but I think it was HBO.
It was HBO.
I've heard a lot about it.
It was doing the Prohibition.
I mean, it's one of the ones that I wished it lasted. I think it was only like 3 or 4 seasons.
It was only 3.
And I'm like, man, I wish it would have gone 7 or 8. You know, it was that good to me. That good to me.
That was during the Prohibition, wasn't it?
I believe so. It was around that gangster kind of stuff around that. Yeah. But Michael K. Williams, if you don't know, Michael K. Williams is one of those kind of actors to where you can probably just go look at his filmography and any movie he's been in is probably going to be worth the watch.
Yeah.
And you know he was in it.
Yeah. I mean hell. Yeah. What is the Baltimore movie? The series that he played.
The Wire.
Omar and the Wire. If you haven't seen The Wire, Michael K. Williams. Right. If you don't respect who that cat is, man, and think about it, this is a good point. Since he's in the movie, this is a good time to talk about the fact that he was that talented and he was basically a functional addict.
Yeah,
because he had drugs.
Wow.
That's
True.
he had drugs. He's a functional addict.
Wow.
But think about it. He didn't come across like that at all in this movie, man.
No.
Didn't he come across somebody who has it together? But that was toward the end for him.
Right.
So that just gives you a picture of addiction, man.
And speaking of that, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but now that we mentioned it, I don't know if it's because he's passed on, but I felt like he was at times kind of like he was a ghost in this movie. Like maybe his character, like I just felt like there was like
they didn't go to him enough based on his role or something.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, which was not bad. I'm not saying it in a negative sense, but I just felt like, I guess because he's no longer here acting, but in this movie, it just made that sense. Like he was in a sense, he was a negotiator, but he was almost like he was trying to be his guardian angel in a sense.
Okay.
But the way his character was, it just felt like when he popped on the scene, it was kind of like, hey man, how you holding up? How you doing?
Yeah.
You know, I'm rooting for you.
And did y'all pick up on the fact that at the end, which I thought was some fantastic imagery as well, where he put that package of cigarettes with that crucifix?
Oh, yeah.
Right. That what it's not called a crucifix. What's the Catholic rosary?
The rosary.
He had that rosary sticking into
put it next to the picture.
And I thought that was that showed that's where you knew he wasn't just making up that story because it was his old military pictures, you know.
Well, and honestly, for me, which I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I guess for the plot that I was looking for is like the John Bodega's character was going to be in the picture, but he didn't. Maybe he didn't.
That's what I thought too.
That'd have been a nice twist, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
that would have been.
But that's just.
I was trying to look close enough just to see.
Yeah, right.
Because the fact that he put it right next to that photo was kind of having. Yeah, that was a good point.
But that was bookend right there, man.
Yeah. But I definitely recommend the film. It ain't a waste no time. So you ain't gonna get a lot of.
He channeled his Denzel Washington at that VA though.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was the
and you know, he even talked about the fact that you embarrassed me in front of my other soldiers. That was a big contributing factor too.
Yeah.
When they put him on the ground and stuff, he's like, you these are my peers. Yeah. You know, and the peers of peers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Matter of fact, I can't tell you some of the camaraderie and some of the conversations that take place on Veterans Day when I'm going to get one of my 5 or 6 meals that we be having at some of these restaurants, you know, or sometimes I'm not even involved. I'm just watching, you know, as you know, and what's funny about it is when you put on that uniform, man, we don't have no race issues like that, man. In the military. Now, I'm not saying that they don't exist.
Right.
They are not. They are not the same They're not proportionate to society.
Yeah.
You know, if in society you're gonna have a 30% race issue or a 40% race issue or a 50%, in the military it's more like 10 or 15%.
Right.
We just don't have that. And maybe it's just because on Veterans Day it's all the people who are in a good frame of mind that come together and it's a light mood and stuff like that. But that's just not an issue that I've seen. And when it comes down to some promotions and you're going to get that regular favoritism and some of that racism and stuff like that, but it's not proportionate to society.
Yeah. So you're saying when you're out of the military, you're not necessarily in the military.
No, I'm saying in the military, you don't see it. It's not proportionate to society.
Okay.
You know, it's less. So what I'm saying is once you put on that uniform, you know, because you're combat brethren, you know, a lot of that goes out to we in the foxhole together. We ain't got time to be we all green.
Right. We on
top of that.
You know, it's not you ain't having him, shit conversation. We trying to stay alive, motherfucker.
Yeah. Right. Now at the beginning when they were carrying him out, was that the VA?
That was the VA. And notice they didn't take him to jail.
Yeah.
We're just getting you out of here.
Yeah. And remember
because they are likely military police that are doing it. You know, like we ain't trying to jam you up like that, but man, get out of here.
Remember the lady handed him his glasses because he kind of crushed his glasses when he in the beginning.
And he had the bruise. And I mean that must have been a couple of days? Or maybe the day before.
The day before, probably.
Yeah, they didn't really say how much time had passed.
Probably
because he still had the bruise on his face, so it had to been that week.
And and he had on that same funky little pullover that he had, hoodie, jacket,
that same champion. All right, let's get to final ratings or final thoughts. Excuse me, in a mic rating. We're gonna go to Doc first.
All right. Well, just as a FYI, IMDb, it got 6.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, 82%, which is pretty high for Rotten Tomatoes. 81% for Google users like the movie. So for me, again, I talked a lot about the imagery, which I thought was, this director, Avi Damaris Corbin, I think they did a fantastic job with some of the imagery and how they shot certain scenes and stuff like that. I think the acting was brilliant. I can't really think of anybody who did a bad acting job in this movie. Again, Michael K. Williams is fantastic. And for me, and again, to do this and only have about 3 or 4 shooting locations with, 70-80% of the movie being at the bank. And that's difficult to pull off a good movie in very few locations like they did. But for me, I ended up with 4.5 mics on this one.
Okay. All right. Whoops.
I was right there at a 4. I mean, like I said, even like within the bank, how they killed the lights and they had to get the blinds closed. Just the way the setting, like they trying to get it. It's intense. It's like
right.
We're here at the news station. Then we see the aspect between him and his daughter, and he's walking on the phone talking to her, and they having a moment, and just how it was presented. And even him just kind of like he's unsure, but he knows what his plan is, and just like, I'm nervous, I don't want to do this, but somebody owes me money, and I promised my daughter a birthday gift, and I'm running out of time. So I thought it was done well. Michael K. Williams. I mean, he's gonna be K. Williams. I mean, he did great. Definitely, like Doc said, I need to go back and rewatch some of his log because he's definitely great. So, no, I enjoy it. I mean, if it's on, if I catch it, I mean, what shows reruns these days? But I mean, if I see it, I'll probably watch it again. I mean,
probably be on HBO or somewhere. Eventually, free for streaming, but I would say it did not disappoint. When I seen the preview, I had really high hopes for it because it was based on a true story. So you want to see, hey, what did this guy go through to bring him to this point? And I thought Boyega did a great job. Michael K. Williams, I thought, was a great touch. The 2 ladies in the bank, they did a fantastic job. They did to act in fear like she did. I mean, that takes some depth that she probably really had to go to be able to do that. So
all that crying looked real, man.
Yeah,
the way when she
looked real.
Herself, that looked real, man. I mean,
So I'm gonna give it a solid 4.
Because I was sitting there thinking to myself, damn, she got to sit there and wet drawers the rest of the day, man.
And that same spot.
I was at a 4 initially. I gave it an extra mic because of the subject matter. They probably hit home a little bit more for me. And the fact that it's based on a true story, that always gets a bit of a bump for me too,
Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Next week we will do another topic right here. Teal.
Teal. Get gangster on y'all, man. Man. Shit, I wasn't ready to be gangster yet.
You gonna make me watch this, man.
It's the holidays, and I gotta get
right. You gotta make me watch it.
This is gonna be. I think they're showing it from a perspective of
the mom.
I think the mom. I don't know if they're showing like his. I don't know.
What is this? What network or whatever is this on? What is
so. I think it's
on a platform.
I think it's everywhere. I think it's on.
Did you say Tubi, man? No, did you say Tubi, Will?
I said YouTube. I saw it on
YouTube. It's on Amazon, YouTube.
No, I didn't see it on Tubi.
Apple TV. It is $20. So
it's $20. It's $20. It's $20.
Hey, we can talk about it in the background. Y'all want to swap it out for something else?
Nah, we good. I'm good.
No. I'll get it done. It's just $20. Funky $20.
Funky $20. All right, so be on the lookout for that for next week. And what's coming up on Queen 3 and King tomorrow?
Queen 3 and King tomorrow. Cap or No Cap Part 2. We will finally have comedian extraordinaire Mike James on. I've talked to him. You know, he had a little conflict the first week. Second week I was sick, so we should be good to go for tomorrow. Real solid dude, man. So I look forward to that. You know, we really just going to be chopping it up. I'm using Cap or No Cap just as a jumping off point, just to some conversations, you know, so we're going to let it flow freely, really.
Good. So that's coming up tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's going to be an end of the bench tomorrow, but you'll definitely see the link. So make sure to
check them
and
out.
Subscribe into the Bench Media and also Queen 3 and King, which we're live on right now as well. And let me give a couple shout outs to the thumbs up and the likes on Facebook. We got Cool McCain, Freddie Hall, Martin Luther King's Pounds. I don't know if that's Monique Seanville, Eric Butler, Chris Bass, and Nathan.
Oh, that's Chris Bass. Is that Chris Bass from Snowman
in the Morning? Yeah.
Funny dude, man.
He is.
Funny dude.
And Corey Dawkins, I believe that's your
that Corey. Oh, yeah, that's my son. Yeah, my oldest twin, yeah.
All right, so we'll be back next week. We don't have A-Trap to close us out, but what do you say? If I ain't got
owe you something,
I ain't got it.
And if you need it, get it from God.
We'll see y'all next week.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.